Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
What could be more important? I just don't think there are too many things that are more important in your. How do you get it?
Water.
How do you get that?
Housing.
How do you get that?
Gold.
How do you get that?
Pokemon cards.
How do you get those?
Okay, just put. I
How do
go
you
out
get
to the
them?
garage and find them. They've been out there for 25 years.
You know, you sound like the rest of the typical public. It's like, well, there's all kinds of things that are important.
The typical public. Okay.
But how do you get
That's
any
offensive.
of these things? How do you get any of those things you just mentioned? What is the one thing you need to
Okay,
pull that
you
off?
gotta have money.
You gotta have money.
Yes.
Lots and
fine.
lots and lots of money.
Well, you know, or the if you're really rich old white person with $200,000 like that. Wasn't that somebody? Didn't somebody write us in?
Okay.
It was out of left field. But
Out
you
of
get the
context, I kind of lose track.
non sequitur, you get it.
And
yeah.
you know, today is not a good day for non sequiturs.
No, you're having a lot of trouble with just mere decimal points. So yeah,
I'm distracted. Just a lot going on.
pull yourself together.
Plus, I got to go to that client event today, which really has me confused. I don't know how I'm going to do that and be in Virginia.
No one's going to notice. We'll put you in a corner. All right.
I am going to share a phone number with you all.
Please.
It is 855-935-TALK. 855-935-8255. So we need like a jingle. Call 855-935-8255.
How much you want to spend? I'm sure we could find somebody to do it.
Oh, no. I got a company in England that makes great jingles. I could get one made. You want a jingle?
Go for it. No, I'm good.
You sure?
Just the number.
All right, 855.
I'd still drive the Panda Pilot. I don't really need fancy things.
The Panda Pilot?
The Panda Pilot. All the way down the road.
It's a new Chinese vehicle. It's a new Chinese vehicle from Panda Motors.
Runs on fortune cookies. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, that was
too far?
Yeah,
too much?
went too far.
Too soon? Okay. Leaving it.
But you're one of the ways people make money. And it's really, really highly touted on podcasts. Oh, my gosh. Probably 30-40% of the investing podcasts are about how to invest in real estate, how to get rich in real estate, passive real estate investing, flip houses, do this, do that. And the reason is because these people are selling expertise. They're not actually helping you make any money. They're just kind of pitching you on their systems. The reality of real estate, though, what is the reality of real estate? And in today's market, is it a good time to be buying investment property?
I'd rather be selling it.
Yeah, me too.
If I was going to real estate. We talk about this because it comes up every once in a while where somebody says, I'll just do real estate, flip homes, and be rich. Mm-hmm. Maybe. You might.
Yeah, well, that's everything, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's true. But here, there's a few things to consider. And this comes from a recent piece that you shared with me from the Washington Post. The author even says the first sentence, ultimately, investing in individual properties is a speculative endeavor, a kind of high-risk investment that can result in outsized gains or catastrophic losses.
That's the thing that no one who pitches real estate mentions, is that you can and bear in mind, the losses are magnified because you are leveraged when you buy real estate. Very few people invest in real estate on a cash-only basis.
Real estate. Okay, so let's just, because this came up at a meeting we had this week. Someone wanted to take a bunch of their money and buy a vacation place, which they were then going to rent out, which I said, okay, so you want to run a small business? No, I don't want to be in business. No, that's what you're describing. You are going to be in business because you need to deal with the people renting the place. You got to deal with the taxes, all the things that go with it. And then you need to, at the end of all this, hope that the price has gone up enough. And you got to hope that there's somebody willing to buy it. And you got to hope that along the way, there's enough people to rent it to pay the bills. I mean, this is not as simple as all of those, what'd you say, 40% of the podcasts make it sound like. And this article gets into the specifics of the things you should look for. I don't think there's a foolproof way to get into any one of these deals and know that it's going to work, period. There really isn't. Well, so I would be extremely careful.
And here's the thing this is what I know, and I know this about real estate because I've done this. Investing in real estate, unless you do it through a real estate investment trust, which is an REIT or a fund of REITs, it is a business. It is not passive investing. It can't be passive. It can't be.
I'll tell you what is passive. Buying an index mutual fund.
Exactly.
I mean, just having a compound. You don't have to do a thing.
And literally, if you want to be in real estate, buy a real estate investment trust index fund like the one Vanguard has. And that is passive. You own real estate. But if you're buying individual properties, the risk is way high.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Set your course for a great future with a free copy of our 60-page Better Retirement Guidebook at vestory.com, vestory.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
855-935-8255 is our phone number. Give us a call. 855-935-TALK. I'm Don. That's Tom. We talk real money here on Talking Real Money. What a coincidence that the show has the same name as what we do. And Carl, you're up. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Carl.
Hey, Don. Hey, Tom. I'm in Virginia, too.
Cool.
My mother is 75, and she has about $450,000 in investments, and I am taking over that for her, and she has about $93,000 in a variable annuity due, but fortunately it's beyond the surrender period, so I can take that out, and the other $350,000 is in, fortunately, fairly low fee mutual funds and exchange traded funds, but she's got 16 different funds under management from a financial institution that she was investing her money in. I want to take the money out of the annuity, take this money from the 16 funds and put it in funds that will help her maintain and, to the extent possible, grow her nest egg through the remaining years of her life. She took the risk quiz and she's a 39 on the risk quiz. So my question for you guys is, what fund or funds should we invest her money in?
16 funds, huh?
Well, yeah, that's a lot. But let me ask you another question about the $450,000. Is this in qualified money like an IRA, or is it in an after-tax account?
It's $350 in IRAs and $94,000 in a variable annuity.
Okay, because I just want to make sure about the taxation. In other words, you wouldn't want to run off and sell everything if there's a big gain. So that sounds like that's
no gain. Really.
Yeah, off the
except
market.
For the annuity, which will be taxed as regular income if there's any
nothing
gain.
You can do about that. Yeah, right. If there's any gain in it. So then it becomes a matter, Carl, frankly, in my mind, if you're going to do this on your own, how hard you want to work. At our website, talkingrealmoney.com, we give you 3 fund portfolios that you could use at Fidelity, at Schwab, and at Vanguard. All of them are very fine. If your mom wanted something managed to fairly low risk, you would put, maybe 20% in the U.S. fund, 20% in the international fund, and the remaining 60% in the bond fund. So then you have a balance between U.S. and international and a lot of bonds, and at her age, maybe that makes sense. If you wanted to work a little harder, but still want to do it on your own, our friend Paul Merriman has a 10 mutual fund or 10 exchange traded fund portfolio.
I wouldn't suggest that.
Yeah, I mean, it's more work. You got to go buy all those.
Less
You got to
work?
rebalance them.
Less work even?
Yeah.
Target date fund.
Or a target date. Okay, I was going to let you speak too. So,
No, but just saying,
those are my
the
two
least work,
suggestions.
target date fund.
Yeah, you could buy the target date. What would it be? That would be a 4060, probably 2015 maybe, or 2010, something like that. I don't know. We'd have to look at but that would be the very easy way to do. And the other question I had, Carl, is how much money does your mom need to take out of this portfolio to sustain her lifestyle?
Between her Social Security and other money she gets, the RMD is kind of gravy on top, so she doesn't take any more than RMD.
Okay. So, again, I think Don did add a reasonable suggestion. You could do a target date fund. He's going to give you the year here in a minute. You could do the 3-fund portfolio at Talking Real Money, or for those who want to get the A++, you could go to paulmerriman.com and use one of his portfolios, his 10-fund portfolios, and you can smile every day because you're really doing a great job for your mom. Don?
Because of her 39 on the risk quiz. I mean, she should, and she is what she probably should be, conservative. So because of that, I would be sorely tempted to go with the if you want super simple, where she can just take her RMD from one fund, easy as pie. They adjust the portfolio every year to make it a little more conservative. I would use the Vanguard Target 2015 because that's about 67% bonds and 33% stocks.
So we'd say 30-70 in the parlance of the industry, 30 being the more risky
I think
part.
given her risk quiz score, that's the most appropriate. You could go 20-20, which would be closer to a 40-60.
Either way. Or, you want to go crazy, you could do half in one, half in the other. Getting you right down the middle, and then you get credit for owning more than just, then your mom doesn't say, you just bought one mutual fund. No, I bought two.
It would be that would be a June 2017.
Yeah, so you're, kind of down the middle.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make your life easier, Carl, that's all. So, or better.
Yeah, I like easy. I appreciate that.
There you go.
I'd go target date.
Guys.
That's what I'd do. I'm a big believer in simple.
Thank you for listening. Way back in Virginia, are you a neighbor of Don's? Are you going to run over some lemonade here in a little bit, or what's the deal?
I bet he's
I don't
up
know.
north
I
of
live
me.
in Virginia Beach. I don't know where Don lives.
Oh, he's a long way from me.
Oh, okay.
I'm about as far away in Virginia as I can be from you. Just keep going until Virginia runs into like Kentucky.
Well,
That's where I
Bristol
am.
is a beautiful area. Bristol.
I'm right out.
Abingdon,
I'm
that's a lovely
10 miles out of Bristol. I'm in Abingdon.
Perfect.
You can hear the banjos from here.
Oh, hush, y'all.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks for listening. Sorry, that was
Thanks, Carl.
maybe a little off color.
All right. No. This is the land of bluegrass. This is where, as a matter of fact, Bristol, Virginia, claims the title as the birthplace of country music. Bristol, Virginia. Not Bristol, Tennessee. Maybe both
types
do.
of music, country and western.
No, country. Western's different. Western's out west.
Oh, okay.
Country is country.
And western.
So Western is more like, like Nashville. No, farther west.
Please, this would be worse than setting up the LTC thing. We'll get more people angry with us on this than the other. So let's
on
not
country
go there.
music?
Probably. On what is real country music
great
and where it
bluegrass
originated
here.
and all, forget it.
In fact, I live on what is called the Crooked Road, or just off it, which is a highway.
Hi, I'm your financial advisor calling you from the Crooked Road. I don't think that's a great branding.
It's a historic music trail. I don't know.
Who do you work for? Dewey, Cheatham and Howe or something? Come on. No, let's not go there.
You always wanted to be one of the car talk guys, didn't you? You always did. Except you knew nothing about cars.
So
you went into music.
I know how to turn them on. I know how to drive them in, get the oil changed. I'm really good at that.
Could you? If you needed to, could you change your own oil?
I could open the oil thing up and let the oil run out.
Do you know where that is?
Yeah, I do actually know where that is. I don't know why I know that, but I do.
Do you know how to take off the oil filter?
No.
Then it would not be good for you to change your own oil.
I don't think my car even has one. Who knows?
Yes,
That's
it
all
does.
Magic to me. I have no idea. Whatever.
Oil
Hopefully
filter.
it'll drive me to Bellevue this afternoon. That's all that matters. So.
Oh, no, don't let him anywhere near your car. 855-935-TALK is our number. We're going to talk about money and oil changes on Talking Real Money.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
A second opinion could save your life either physically or fiscally. Let one of our Vestory advisors help you save your future at Vestory.com, Vestory.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome back to the show there. I'm Don McDonald, Tom Cox over there, and we're talking about money with you at 855-935-TALK. Gold and real estate today.
Gold and real. No, you forgot Pokemon cards.
We have not done Pokemon cards.
Yeah, well, that should be on the agenda.
It shouldn't be on the agenda.
Why not?
Because
It's a great speculative play.
Yeah, you know
You
what?
might buy the box with the holograph in
The
it.
funny thing is that years ago, for a couple of days, it was a good speculative play where people were supposedly.
Okay, here's a question for you, Mr. Finance Guy.
What?
Was it around longer than Beanie Babies or shorter than Beanie Babies? I mean,
Well,
which
I
was the
think-
more of the?
You know, honestly, I think Beanie Babies had a longer run.
You have to look that up.
I think
And
Beanie
then
Babies had a longer
where
run.
do Nifties fit into all that?
I don't even know what a Nifty is.
Yes, NFTs. You know what a Nifty is.
Oh, it's not. You mean a non-fungible token?
Yes. Yeah, that.
They don't fit in anywhere. They're just.
That's a pure speculative play. Come on.
It is. Well,
It is.
okay.
So that's the same thing, right? Just whatever the next guy said, or pardon me, or woman thinks it's worth. That's what those are. Purely.
All right. Are you happy now? Can I get to a question?
We got somebody on the phone.
We do? Oh, we do.
Yes,
well,
we
then
do.
can we
Yeah,
get
we
to
do.
their question?
Okay.
855-935-TALK. Give us a call. Keep Tom from talking about Pokemon cards. Thanks for doing that, Joe. We appreciate it. Welcome to the
Hey,
program.
Joe.
Hi, I'm calling from Washington State, and I'm calling about the Washington CARES Act. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about that lately.
Yes, we have.
Sure, we have.
So,
What do you
my
want to know,
question-
Joe?
Well, I'm 64, and I'm planning on retiring in a little less than 2 years. So my question
Then
is,
you're not going to be eligible for it.
That was my question. I'm not going to get anything back
Yep.
out of it.
Nope.
So
But you're going to
it's-
pay into
it's
it.
worth
Doesn't
it?
that make you feel better?
It's worth it. Well, that's another question I have. Is this just for people that are working, or is it all for
Yeah.
once you retire, do you still have to pay into it?
No, it's only a payroll tax. So as long as you have payroll,
Okay.
as long as you
Okay.
have W-2, then you'll be paying into it. Otherwise,
worth
no.
it to me then to go out and sign up for something just
Nope.
to get the
No.
exemption.
No.
And
Okay.
then,
How
no?
much?
No, because
No.
you can't
How much
get
money
anything.
are you making? What is your personal annual income roughly?
About $125 a year.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to be paying in, $600 a year.
Yeah, $1,200 before you
And
retire.
right now, from what we are told, this is not our area of expertise, but we do talk to people in this industry regularly. You cannot go buy a policy that will enable you to escape this tax for $600 a year. It's not available.
Well, here's my thing. I can get a whole life policy through work that exempts you from the tax, so I can sign up for it, get exempted, and then drop it
Through your
my plan.
employer.
through my
I
employer.
think
yes.
if it's an employer, if it's the employer plan, because remember, you're going to generally those are cheaper because why? Because they're pooled, right? Same reason that I have some, I think through my employer, like $100,000 of life insurance, I pay almost nothing for.
Right.
Same
Actually,
deal.
it's through my union, really, not my employer. I was wrong.
Yeah,
on that
no,
one.
then
But
then
anyway,
sure,
yeah.
go ahead. Why not do that?
Yeah, whole life
I'm okay with
isn't.
that.
Whole life
Yeah.
is an exemption. So yeah, that would make
Go
sense.
right ahead.
So my other
That's
question
fine.
is this.
Yeah,
if
go ahead.
I decided I wanted to pay in for this, so what's the minimum I would have to pay in to get something back out of it? Do you know?
Well, you have to be in it at least 3 years. That was the reason I
That's what I
referred.
thought.
I said you would not
So
be
I
eligible.
would have to
yeah.
extend my retirement. But here's the thing, though. I was thinking about this. If I work a year longer than what I was planning and pay into this thing for an extra year. I'd pay into it for 3 years, but then
No, see, it's got to be 3 out of 6. But then the problem's going to be if once you go past the 6, you're going to be out of it again because you have to be 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's not
very
gonna work.
confusing. Your best bet, does this whole life policy your employer offers have the ability to add a long-term care rider? Can it be added?
It has something. I don't know all the details about it. It has.
I
don't think it has a rider. I think it has like a lump sum policy. Or a lump sum to it that you can get.
My understanding is, from what I've read, and I can't vouch for it being entirely accurate, but my understanding is the only way you can exempt is if the whole life policy has a long-term care rider. Just make sure it has that.
Don are talking real money.
Tom and I created Vestory to help everyone become a better investor, even those who will never be clients. Let one of our advisors help you start your financial plan or solve a money problem free with no obligation or high-pressure sales pitch at Vestory.com. Vestory.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Hi, welcome back to our program about money, making money, saving money, spending money, investing money, all the things you do with it. We're going to try and help you out here. If you call us at 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. And up next is Renee. Hi, Renee. Welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call. I listen to you every week, but I was listening today and heard you talking about refinancing. And my question is, I only have under $50,000 left to pay on my mortgage, and I was going to refinance just because with the current interest rate it would lower my payment by $200 a month. And I'm wondering if I should or shouldn't. I mean, with only owing just a little under $50,000, should I keep my higher monthly payment?
What's your interest? What's your interest rate?
The interest rate that was quoted to me at the time.
No, what's your interest rate now?
Oh,
paying today.
I believe it's 4.375 or something like that.
And how much time is left on the 50,000?
About 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to be
how
worthwhile.
big a deal? I mean, how big a deal is $200 a month less to your lifestyle?
Probably
or $2,000 a year.
Probably not. I mean, I don't miss it now. I mean, I'm able to do everything, pay my bills, and do everything I want.
I mean, the trade-off here, Renee, is going to be what it will cost you to buy that new loan, really, at the end of the day. I mean, there's great deals out there, but I don't know at $50,000. That's a very small note, and I'm not sure who would write that with probably no cost to it. Don?
Nobody's going to write it with no cost. Nobody's going to write it with no cost.
Fees?
You're going to have closing costs in the realm of a few $1,000.
Well,
so,
actually, it's a 12. The refinance would be for 12 years, no closing fees, including escrow fees.
Well, but there's got to be title insurance.
That's probably on 50. That's going to be small, but still something.
There's got to be title insurance. You're going to have to pay an appraisal, right?
No, that's included.
Oh, no appraisal because you have so much equity? That may be.
What's the value of the home?
Total value, home and property, $934,000.
Holy moly mackerel!
Yeah, I mean, then if you're really expenses are going to come down to just the title insurance, which I don't know how you can avoid. I don't think
have you gotten an estimate? Have you applied?
Yeah.
Have you gotten a closing estimate? And what did they show your total out the door cost would be?
Ooh, I don't know that I have that information.
Have you actually put in an application?
Oh, yes. It's being processed, and the only reason I'm holding off on it right now is they want to do an appraisal. No cost to me, but they want to do an appraisal, and they want to be able to come into my house and take pictures of every room. And I just said, why? I mean, I've had my home.
I think that's weird with that little. Yeah, I think that's kind of strange. But I do actually.
I've never heard of that.
$50,000 on $1 million. Yes, I think that's strange. Yeah. Usually, well.
I would imagine that if you're doing a 12-year note, you better be like at about a 2% rate, right?
Or somewhere in that area.
Yes, 2.875.
No, too high.
Yeah,
that's too high.
For 12, that
for a 12
size,
year.
Yeah, that should.
I'm looking right now just at rates on 15-year fixed running about 2.1.
Are you? And by the way, this is not a promotion in any way. We don't get paid for mentioning this. But out of curiosity, are you a Costco member?
I am, and I heard you talking about that earlier today. But here's my concern. I looked it up on my cell phone at Costco.com, and I'm real nervous about, dealing with all of the talk and everything said Costco's not involved with this. This is blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No. But they
vetted.
They've
looked at these people.
The living daylights out of these people. I've dealt with them twice now, and my experience has been nothing but wonderful.
Same here. So, I mean, I think that, by the way, that would just give you a comparison. I mean, I think you should get something in the very low twos. There should be very little cost, and then it probably makes sense on the 50,000. You get north of there, I don't think that really is going to make sense with that small of an amount.
I would go get some from Costco. I would go. It's CostcoFinance.com. I'd get a quote.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Want a free copy of my book, Financial Physics? Well, go download it right now at Vestory.com, Vestory.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
And our phone number again is 855-935-TALK, or you can send questions in for answering on the show or podcast to TalkingRealMoney.com. You'll have to listen to the podcast for answers because we're not going to guarantee when they're going to get asked or answered. Well, I'm going to ask them too.
Answering. Okay. Oh, good point.
So here is today's Talking Real Money.
Sure.
Typed in incredibly long and involved question for Tom.
Can I just add one thing right here?
No.
I am headed out the door for vacation, so I may as well just start early.
No,
how's that sound?
No, you're quite too late. You're already here. Stay, sit, heal.
Okay.
Good boy. All right. I've been listening to your podcast over the last year and enjoy every one of them. Isn't that enough to make you want to answer him? Come on.
Yes. Okay.
I'm looking for some investment advice for my future. Now, get this. He's 37 years old. Lives in the Washington, D.C. area. He currently rents a 700 square foot, one bedroom apartment for $2,200 a month. Oh, wow.
I knew it was expensive in there, but inside the Beltway, wow, that's something.
But I'm looking to buy
$2,200. You said
he's
right?
actually in Arlington, which is a pricey neighborhood. That's a pricey neighborhood. Sure it is.
That's where my parents are.
Not in that part of Arlington.
Well, they're in Arlington. I don't want to tell you.
They're rent free.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, not quite. It's a smaller apartment.
My dad gave a lot to get the space. Right, let's put it that way. But
there's no ongoing cost, and it's a small, cozy little place.
The upkeep is fantastic. All right, keep going.
Yeah.
2,200.
Great views.
Yeah, that's true. You're in with some of your best
free lawn
too.
care.
I'm sorry. Good point. This is not funny. Okay, go.
I'm looking to buy in the next couple of years. I have a good job. And I don't know why he felt the need to add this. I have a good job, not in politics, and gross over $205,000 annually. I have minimal savings, $2,500 in individual stocks and crypto.
Wait a minute. You're making $200,000 a year and you only have a couple $1,000 saved?
Individual stocks and crypto.
Yeah, I got that.
I do not plan on putting any more money into those.
Thank you.
I only have $40,000 in my employer's 401k. and am making the maximum contribution this year and plan to do so every year until retirement. Unfortunately, they do not match it. I would also invest in a Roth if I was eligible. I believe my income is too high. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
My employer does, however, provide a decent pension. Pension? Wow.
That's something new. And he's not a government employee?
Yeah. I have an option to retire at 55. Get this.
Wow.
55. And draw a pension, which would be 77% of the average of my highest 3 years.
God, what? Is it like Secret
Holy
Service or something?
cow,
What are you
that'd be
working?
Government. That's government.
Yeah.
I want
you said
his
not
job.
Politics. Not politics. Could be government.
Oh, it could be government. I want his job.
Well, that's a big pension.
My pension will top out at age 58 at 80%.
Wait a minute. So 80% of that's like $170,000 a year pension.
Wait,
large pension.
there's more.
Yeah, okay. Then don't bother saving. You're okay. Yeah,
I will also have a railroad pension, but will not be able to draw that until I'm 67 or 63 if I choose to put off retirement when I have 30 years paying into it. I would like to think that I will be okay financially in retirement. Yeah,
it sounds to me with that railroad pension, you're really right on track, if you ask me.
Oh, I knew bad joke was coming.
Sorry, that was bad.
Ooh.
What's the question?
I'm not there
you're
yet because... Shh.
Okay, well, this is a limited amount of show here.
We still have 4 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Jeez. You really are impatient.
You think?
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next question.
Okay. I heard on a recent podcast that if I invested $100 a month in the S&P 500 for 40 years, I could be sitting on millions. I'm going to be short of the 40 years, but I'm able to put 150 more in monthly and try to catch up. Would you recommend using the S&P 500 or an ETF such as VUG, VUG, or VTI? Also, what platform would be the best use for the investment, and are there any fees to use it?
Okay, wait a minute. First of all, going back, if he does not have an IRA, he could do a backdoor Roth.
Yes,
$6,000 a year. That would be number one on my list.
Yes, he could.
That would be easy. In terms of then how to invest it, what's wrong with VT?
That's what I was thinking. VUG is the Vanguard Growth ETF, and it's got like 200 stocks.
I wouldn't do that.
It's all FANG stuff. VTI is just international.
Yeah, no, the VT takes in, it's 8,800 securities. It's global. I don't know. You want to know about the fees? I don't know. It's like 12 basis points or something.
And there are no fees for the accounts.
Yeah, no, I would go to, here's what I would do. I would go to Vanguard. I would open an IRA. I would go to Vanguard and open a Roth IRA. I would take $6,000 and put it in my IRA for my 2021 contribution. And then the next day, move it to the Roth and put it all in V as in victory, T as in Tom, VT.
Then I would set up a regular brokerage account after tax and put your 100 or 150 a month in out of every paycheck into VT. Or if you really want to go crazy, put a little bit into the Vanguard small cap value index.
And we got to quit saying nobody gets a pension anymore because you're 37. You're going to have an 80% pension. I didn't even know such things existed.
We're in the wrong place, in the wrong industry.
Well, no, you're in Virginia too, my friend. Are you getting an 80% pension?
Apparently, they don't give those to Western Virginians.
Apparently not. You got to break through.
I'm going back to Florida. I'm going to be one of DeSantis's people again.
Oh, please, let's not go there because this is not headed to a happy place if you say that. Anyway, thank you for the kind words and for listening. And that's a no-brainer.
All those things that you do.
And I don't know that it needs to be a big saver if you're really going to have that big a pension anyway. And the railroad pension, I mean, sure, saving is good. But, wow, that is... And I'm assuming there's no Social Security, though.
Right, because he has the railroad pension.
Correct. You can't get
railroad
both.
pension.
That's right.
Railroad pension kills Social Security.
That's right. Yeah.
So just figure that's like his Social Security.
Yeah,
one more quick question. This is really fast. You ready?
Yeah. Okay.
I want to add emerging markets to my retirement account and would like to know which Fidelity fund you would recommend. Thank you.
I'd have to look, but
Emerging Markets Index. They do.
Do they have the index?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
FPADX.
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 I didn't know they had. You're right. The index.
And
okay,
you know
there
what the
go.
expense ratio is on that thing?
It is 8 basis points.
8 basis points.
How is that right?
It's right. That's better than
That is
Vanguard,
really
I think.
cheap. No, it's cheap, way cheaper than Dimensional's emerging markets. Because I think theirs is still 50 something.
Time to rethink our emerging markets fund, isn't it?
Wow. I wonder how Fidelity, that's not very Fidelity-like.
No, Fidelity's been becoming very, very Vanguard-like.
Wow. Just look that up. What is Vanguard's, just because we're going to close the loop here. And I don't know the ticker.
Hold on.
Vanguard emerging.
Oh, if I'd spell Vanguard right, put a
markets.
G in it, it actually might work better. Let's see.
VEMAX?
Yes. VEIEX.
Well, I've got their emerging market stock index, VEMAX, and that is 14 basis points.
Oh, I'm looking at I'm sorry, I'm looking at the investors, not the admin.
Okay.
And it's 15, so it's twice as much.
14,
almost twice as much.
4 to 8. I mean, wow, I'm going to apologize to the family there, the Johnson family that runs Fidelity, because we've been saying bad things about them.
We haven't.
Well
either.
done.
They have really reduced the fees on their index funds. Really reduced them.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Is your portfolio a mess? You may have a case of hodgepodgeitis, but don't worry, we can help. Just set up a free, no-obligation meeting with a Vestory advisor at Vestory.com. No sales pitch, guaranteed. That's Vestory.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
You know, Tom and I really do love helping you on the show. It is one of our favorite things to do. It's one of the reasons why we've been doing it so darn long. But we know that sometimes your situation, your questions require sit-down time. You know, like a half an hour, 45 minutes. You have to bring paper in and stuff like that. You can't do with a radio show. Which is why we make our advisors at Vestory by Appella available to you for free, for nothing, no cost, no obligation, no high-pressure sales pitch. But you have to make the first move. And by the way, we're not going to bug you again after the fact. You're just getting help. If you want to become a client, we'd love that. But if you want the help, just go to Vestory.com. That's Vestory.com and set up an appointment right there on the front page. It's time to go. Vestory.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately, consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestory, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That should keep the lawyers happy.